Here's my cards. So you can call me if you ever need anything, okay? Yeah. Getting it set up. When do you think we set it up? When the machine is turned off and the tubing is dry. That's the number one mistake that people see. So here you got a trauma coming in. We need to set it up with the machine turned off and the tubing dry, okay? What you're gonna need per patient, this is all you're gonna need. You're gonna need one color-coded, pre-assembled disposable. Looks just like that. It's already pre-packaged for you, okay? We do not need a patient line extension, but that's what it looks like, okay? And some hospitals stock them and some people don't. Just kind of depends on volume. JPS, for example, they would. We do offer splitting ones. If you ever see that, just make sure it's the same size catheter on both because of the path of least resistance. Now, I'm not a big fan of those because of the inherent issues you could come up with, but just make sure it's the same size catheter, okay? If there's ever a time you can't find this extension and the doctor's yelling, we need more length for whatever reason, you could always open up another kit and disconnect, and the manager will like that, and disconnect this part right here, and this acts as an extension. You with me?
Yeah.
What do you think I don't want you grabbing for an extension? Small bore IV tubing. If somebody puts that on the Belmont, they don't know what they're doing. It looks like a little piece of spaghetti. How are you going to get blood through that?
Yeah.
You just use common sense, you know? All right, so getting this thing set up. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to let each one of you do it, okay? If you know how, I'm going to just tell you, all this is a glorified IV pump. That's all this is, okay? And the hardest part about using this is getting it set up, okay? Oops. So, always make sure your lure locks are all tight before you go. And then I like to, so you see the red and blue color scheme right there?
Mm-hmm.
You see how it's red and blue, right?
Yeah.
So I like to preform things to keep it simple. So I like to I step back at it and I form it like it's gonna go in just like that. Do you see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go straight in. I'm gonna place 4 points of contact. It's like putting a fence post together. Hit the corners, create stability, and come back around. Okay? Third arm is always the first point of contact. You don't have to go in that order, but that's what I do. I'm so smart. No, I'm kidding. Red tab to red tab. Do you see that red tab right there? Put that right there. This is the part everybody messes up on right here. Everybody wants to go down here for some reason. Okay? Just put it to the top of this shelf like that. Do you see how I do that? Go right there, and then just do that. And you always do that after you load that. That way you know it's in. Flat flush across the surface, okay? That's 3 points of contact, so we need one more point of contact, don't we? Do you see that pizza cutout? Do you see that the bubbler that goes in there? Do you know what I mean by pizza cutout? It goes in there. And now everybody wants to sit there and push in there, and that does absolutely nothing for you. So don't do that. Just put it in its spot, and then below that, right here, that's the key to this whole thing. Get an angry finger, get mad, get a face like that, okay? And then and push that hard, and that seats that, and that'll keep that from alarming on you, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And once I do that, just straighten your tubing. Do you see how that easy that is? And that's how you load the Belmont Rapid Infuser. Okay, so I'm gonna have each one of you do that now. Whoever gets the fastest gets a burrito. Come on. I would have stopped and got some food, but I tell you, it's
these lane closures and the spoon they got going on.
I took the express lane too, and it's like.
Oh gosh.
And it's
Well, what's
still
frustrating is like I got off the express lane and it was 5:03, and I was 3 minutes away, and all of a sudden it said 22 minutes away.
Yeah.
There you go. Right there. There you go. Now go flat across the surface to remind yourself that's in. Good. You see how it's kind of tight? You can just always lower this down just a smidget if you need to. That's good though. Great. Perfect. Okay. Pizza cut out. Now get mad. Get in right here. Okay. Now get in. There you go. Pushing that hard. Good girl. Now just straighten it out from there. See how that works? There you go. And now you're a Belmont super user. That's a great job. Get a feel for closing that. Don't slam it. Get it to that point. Okay, now pull back on the black latch and push in. See how that works? Good job.
Awesome.
Okay, you set a high standard for you all.
Amazing.
Better than me the first time I did it. Took me all day to figure it out. I'm not a smart man, Jenny. I know what love is. See how the arrow's pointed towards you? Always point it towards the machine. Preform it before you go in. It's going. Why you don't want to ever point that arrow towards you. Point it towards the machine. There you go. That's great. Nice. Do you see how you want to push there? There you go. That a girl. Good. Now just straighten your tubing out. Great job. Very good. Don't slam it. Get it at that point. And do you see how there's a spot right there? Be careful you don't get that pinched off. Okay, good.
And then that
Pull back on the black latch. Pull back on it. Right here. Now push in. That a girl. Good. Excellent job. There you go.
Good job,
Boom.
Alexis.
Boom. Boom. I'm telling you, don't you agree with me? If this is all they learn and pick up, now I don't expect you to remember everything. And you're not supposed to remember everything. I still learn stuff and it's 13 years into it.
Right.
But if you know how to load it and turn the machine on, that's a huge thing. There you go. Good. Yep. Perfect. Just pull it down right here. There you go. There we go. There you go. Yep. See how it really messes up on that? Go flat across the surface. Remind yourself. Muscle memory. My recommendation for you ladies is to practice every time you come in here now. And every time you see the Belmont, practice a couple times. Get used to using it because this is going to be your bread and butter. See how you make money. There you go. Good. Save lives. Good job. Nice. All right. Great. That's a really good job. All three of you know. Now you know how to load the Belmont Wrap Infuser. And quite honestly, we could stop there. See you later. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So let's go through some now troubleshooting. Now, these are hectic situations. Just keep it simple in your head, okay? There's 2 alarms that you have to know that are definitive. I promise you, you're going to get alarms. Just plan on getting alarms. It's easy. You only got 2 you got to remember. Okay? You all are really young. You remember those shoes back in the 90s, those pumps, Reebok pumps? Pump, pump, pump. There's these shoes, you could pump them up, and you could jump higher, right? So think pump. I want you to think pump. Air.
Okay.
So if you get an alarm that says air detection squeeze, air detection squeeze, think pump, air, pump, 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 pump. Open up the door, go up right up underneath the sensor. You see where my big fat thumb is? You remember where you got the angry finger? Right below that. And pump it vigorously. That means somebody didn't seat that properly or it's a dirty sensor. Pump hard, fast, 5 or 6 times like a pump. Close the door back up and it'll prompt you to reprime and you shouldn't have that problem. The guy who made this device taught me it's a shortcut and it works every time. Air detection squeeze. Pump, 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 pump. Okay, and the cause of that is somebody getting an angry finger or it's a dirty sensor. You want to keep that clean with alcohol only. Hear that? Alcohol only. No purple wipes on this thing. Air detection squeeze. Pump, pump, pump. Come and do that for muscle memory. Come on, ladies. And when do we do it? When the machine's on, obviously, right? Because you can't figure it out if it's off. Pump it hard and fast. People lose their minds in trauma. Air detection squeeze. Keep it simple. That's a great job. Pump, pump, pump. Hard and fast. Air detection squeeze. Be aggressive with it. There you go. Hard and fast. Good. Air detection squeeze. Pump, 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 pump. Good. The other alarm you need to know, you ready for it? High pressure, patient line blockage. Did you see the emphasis on patient line? High pressure, patient line blockage. Did you see how easy that could happen? So when you're be cognizant always that you're not getting it pinched off at the door. If it's not pinched off at the door, then the problem has to be distal, right? And therefore, you wouldn't be opening up the door because we know the problem is right there. It's either occluded or somebody stepping on it, or it could be the wrong catheter, and we'll go over that in a minute, okay? So what are the 2 alarms that are definitive that we have to know?
The high pressure patient.
Line blockage and air detection squeeze. Pump, 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 right? I don't care if the screen says the sky is purple. If it doesn't say those 2 things, then just over here, you just kind of look and make sure there's nothing like out of place. Use some common sense. Like you should never clamp this off because there's no reason to, because you could put unlimited amounts of fluids through that filter. And if it looks awkward, well, anybody with a frontal lobe can figure that's not right? Yeah. So you just fix it. So use common sense right here. And if everything looks fine and you still don't know what the problem is, and it's not air detection squeeze, and it's not high pressure patient line blockage, then just do this. While the machine is on, open up the door, take this out, and put it back in. And that's like rebooting your computer in the morning. 97% of the time it works all the time. Okay? And if it still doesn't work, then change out the tubing or call me or let somebody know about it. Biomed, okay? So let's recap. Air detection squeeze, right? High pressure patient line blockage. Common sense, reboot your computer. Good. To turn it on. This sounds like a small thing, but it's an important thing. Because if I do that 100 times over, do you think that's good for the software or do you think that's bad for the software?
Bad.
That's bad for the software. So there was this song in the 80s with Snoop Dogg called Pop It Like It's Hot. Remember?
Oh, yes.
Or, Drop It Like It's Hot. I want you to pop it like it's hot. Okay? So hard and fast over. And as soon as you power it on, it's got to say this. You look for that. It has to say AC power is present. You have to be getting power to your machine. Otherwise, what is the point? Now, it does run a battery. We can talk about that in a minute. But you can't do anything with the battery, honestly. Just transport, okay? So, powered it on, and what did we look for? AC power is present. We popped it like it's hot. Now we just follow the directions. You don't have to remember anything. It prompts you. So what does it say to do?
It says to connect the fluid bags, unclamp lines, and press prime.
Okay, so we have 3 spikes up here. We can use all 3 or just one. I like to use the short one for saline and long tube for blood. But at the same end of the day, it doesn't matter. Now, we'll go over the large reservoir in a minute. Just remember on the large reservoir, it takes at least 200 mLs of fluid in there to prime it. It's not a big thing, just remember. This one, you just open it up and go. I prefer using this because it's easier, right? We don't need to make it a big, huge cluster. But doctors like the large reservoirs for the big vascular cases, liver transplants, and things like that, okay? All right, so what does it say do? Hit prime, right? So go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's going to count down from 100 to 0. Do you see that counting down? Do you see the air coming up through here? Through the filter, out the atmosphere is a gassy substance. It takes 12 to 15 seconds. Notice I clamped these off so I don't get baptism by Belmont. Okay, so it's counting down. And what does that mean to you, first of all? What would you have to do if you couldn't do that? You'd have to burp the bags and get all the air out, right? You don't have to do that with this. It's taking all of that out of the play. Now what does it say to do?
To prepare the patient line, press patient line prime to pump.
Okay, so over a trash can, right? No, hold on. You like everybody's like, oh, where's your trash can?
Yeah.
So this is a make-believe trash can,
Okay, gotcha.
just so you know. All right, so go ahead and prime patient line. And now we just follow the air. Do you see the air coming out? Slowly.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there's the
Now
button.
press and hold to go faster. If you want any button on this machine to go faster, you press and hold it. It is nice. I thought of it. I'm just kidding. All right. Get all that visually confirm that air is out of that line. Okay. Once that air is out of that line, you're confident. Hit stop. Go and press it. There you go. There you go. Okay. Now we're ready to infuse. Now, when we hook up to the IV, these are things that you don't need to know, but you need to know. Okay. You need to know it because they're not going to pay. They don't pay attention to anything. What do we need to think about when we're hooking up to the IV? Take off any hep lock, clave, piggy tail, J-hook, connector, cap, right? Take everything off and hook it right to the hub of the IV, just like that. Because if you don't, what's going to happen? It's going to reduce your flow rate. Remember the spaghetti?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The reduction in there, if you narrow the path, it's going to slow, right?
Well, that
Okay.
makes sense.
Right. So take it all off and hook it right to the hub of the IV. Unless you want to restrict your flow rate during the NTP, that's what I would say to the doctor. I'll go, so you want to reduce your flow rate? Okay, and keep it on. That's fine. Okay, we play that game, but I would recommend taking it all off and hook it right to the hub of the IV. Okay, make sure everything else is tight. Now press infuse. Okay, and by the way, feel how warm this is. Can you imagine?
Oh my god.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And it's gonna
That's
isn't that
toasty.
awesome? And it's gonna maintain your normal thermia all the way through.
Oh.
Okay, so let's talk about the screen real fast. These are your flow rates based off per minute. Per minute. That's a big takeaway.
Per minute.
It's going a lot faster than you think it is. Everybody's used to per hour. This is per minute. Below that, your total volume infused. There's no memory, so make sure they record what they gave that patient before they turn it off. That's your temperature, normal thermia. That's your inline pressure. If you want to go faster, arrow up means to go what?
Faster.
Yes, perfect. Now arrow down means to go?
Slow it down.
There you go. It's not rocket science. And then at 500 means to do what? Go straight to 500 ml as an emergency button. We'll never hit that button unless we have what size catheter? Good. Yes. Yes. Nobody ever gets that right.
You guys are geniuses.
You are my new favorite person in the world. A big boy, right? A cordis, a horse catheter we have, right? Stay away from your triples. Single lumen, large bore, MAC cordis, 14 to 12 French double lumen. How about the 7 French triple lumen? Is that a good line? Please say no. It's an awful line. It's too long, short and fat.
Short and back. Got it.
Are you with me?
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about catheters for a minute. So 20 gauge, you'll get these move-in doctors that have never done an NTP in their life, and they let's get an IO or a 20 gauge or a, right? I mean, like, just keep it right there.
Yeah.
That's all you're gonna get. So IO 20 gauge PICC lines, you keep those, you treat those the same. You're using it as a warmer, which is fine, but that's all you're gonna get. 10 ml per minute. So don't mess with it after that. 16 and 18 gauge. The most common catheter I do see in the hospitals is an 18 gauge catheter, right? Let me ask you this. Do you know much about central lines and peripheral lines yet?
A little bit.
Okay, good.
But yeah.
Okay, so tell me, which one would you get a faster flow rate? An 18 gauge central or an 18 gauge peripheral? So an 18 gauge central line has 3 lumens, right? And it's long and skinny, right? And an 18 gauge peripheral is short and fat, isn't it? So another way to remember is when I leave here, I'm going to McDonald's and I'm going to get a chocolate shake. Do you think I'm going to be happy if they give me a long skinny straw or a short fat straw?
Short pass.
There you go. It's the same physics. It's called Purcell's law, right? Shorter and fatter is always better. But let me keep it simple for you. You know how I like simple. Central or peripheral or heplock clave, whatever, just go to 120 per minute. So either write that down or just pencil into your brain. Your magical flow rate with the Belmont is 120 per minute. That's your magical flow rate. That's when things work well. Okay, so 120 per minute. So I'm going to mimic a small catheter with a heplock and a clave in the worst case scenario, with a moron person running it. And so let's go up to what flow rate? 120. Why? Because it loves 120. So go up to 120 for me. Y'all can see it. Makes it. Yep. Just go nice and easy, like this. Nice tempo. There you go. There you go. That's all you gotta do. You don't do anything else. Take a look at the actual though. Because I have a heplock and a clave on. That's what it would act like. Okay, that's fine. That's what you're gonna get, doctor, because that's what you asked for.
Yeah.
Until you get if you want to get it faster, until you see, do you ever see it flashing at you like that? Press the word set rate and watch what happens. These two numbers. There you go. That's
wow.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Why did I teach it like that? Well, in a real case scenario, I had an issue. I had a patient who's deader than a doornail, and they're screaming, "I want max flow rate." You're going to be in that situation. Help us! Help us! Help us! I want max flow rate, and I hit the 500, and all of a sudden it started alarming on me. And I think of me, I'm sweating profusely in this surgical ICU, and everybody's staring at me, and they're doing CPR, and this guy's green. Okay, what are the two? Slow down, stop. What are the 2 alarms you got to think about?
Patient occlusion.
And air detection. So I saw that it was high pressure patient line, right? It was not pinched off at the door, so I'm like, okay, Danny, it's got to be down here. I couldn't find any. I looked right there. There's no blood pressure cuff. I'm like, nobody's stepping on it. I'm like, oh dear Lord, help me. You know, I prayed. I was like, I did. I said a prayer because this guy, and everybody's looking at me, and I'm like, I hit stop. Just just wondering, like pretty upset about this. And I started going up, and the blood came out. We saved his life. What was happening? I was using a long, skinny straw, and I hit max flow rate, and that straw was saying, that's too much. That's too much flow rate, too much shake, too much blood. And that distal port, the Belmont has a safety mechanism, because when do lines blow? Do y'all know? Lines will infiltrate and break at 350 mercury. That's when you have a problem. You kill somebody. So the machine will not allow you to exceed that. At the same time, the machine will not allow you. It has a hard stop. If it senses that pressure being exceeded. So what happened was that I blew up that mercury. I filled that bag all the way to its top, and it was saying no mas. So when I hit stop, I released it. And then I jogged up with that nice tempo to 120 per minute, and we saved his life. Do you understand that? Because that's your biggest crossroads right there. If you understand that concept, you're going to be A-okay. Cool?
Yes.
Cool. Now, if you put a large bore on there, a 14 and higher, right? 12-inch double lumen, large, then hit that 500. Go ahead. And then from there, you can go to 750 per minute. So press and hold and go to 750 per minute. And hang all 3 bags at the same time. Open them up and go. Now, like, say we're getting phone calls. It's like mass chaos, 1,000 things going. Do we see a problem here? What if I'm not paying attention? Is that a problem? Well, I will just tell you that any rapid infuser you use in the future, besides the Belmont, it will be a problem. Not with the Belmont, though. Because what happens is once this ultrasonic air sensor senses the air, it shuts down. So we have a ton of air in here, right? So normally you would have to disconnect from your patient, right? Like immediately. Get that. Not with this. Now, pretend like I'm not disconnecting. Here, point this towards her. Alright. Actually, point it towards me. Because I have faith in this machine. Okay, I spiked the new bag, right? Go ahead and hit reprime. There's your air back up. You never have to disconnect from your patient. So you just keep boom, 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 boom. That's how you operate the Belmont, okay? Battery power, you have up to 30 minutes, but it doesn't heat on battery power. Let me say that again. It does not heat on battery power. You have up to 30 minutes, and there's no warning on it. So keep it plugged in at all times. So if you ever see a Belmont from this point forward, I don't care where you're at. I don't care if it's in Russia or wherever, I don't know where you're in Russia, any hospital in the world, and you see a Belmont unplugged, you go plug it in. Because you need to have up to, how much? 30 minutes of battery power, and it doesn't heat. Cool?
Yes.
All right. I'm just kidding. It's cool. How this thing works. Ice cold blood comes from the blood bank, and it travels through these cylinders unimpededly, and that's what keeps those rings cool. But if you put something in the blood that's not compatible, or if you let the blood stop running, what's the blood going to do? And if it clots, will it be able to travel freely? So never let the blood stop running, and don't put something in there that shouldn't be in there. You don't want to put platelets in there because they can crystallize. You never put platelets through rapid infusion. You can do it separate, okay? Cryo is sticky, right? Don't put it in there. How about lactated ringer? Is that good to put in with blood? No, because it has what in it? It has calcium. And does calcium, what does that do? It increases your pH level, and then it's going to cause it to clot. So don't put that through there. So, and if you ever have a question on what not to put in there, there should be a list hanging for you. Let's see here. If I have an extra one for you, I can show you. And of course I don't think. I never have what oh, here we go. Look at that. I'll let you hang on to this. So there should be one of these hanging on each one of your machines. Green is good, red is bad. Now these should know that, but you don't ever count on people knowing anything. Play on it, they don't know anything. Then you'll be safe. Okay? Questions, thoughts, or concerns? Anything else?
No, I think they
Explained it great.
Yeah?
explained it pretty
Yes.
You
good.
feel like you're comfortable?
Yes.
That's what I wanted to see. Last thing, one thing is, let's talk about this. So you see how this is connected to that? So how would we change that? Well, that's pretty simple. Clamp that off, that's what that's for. You would disconnect, and then swap this out with the blue one.
Oh.
You see that? So you make sure you don't lose these. So you put this down there and put that back up here, and then the connections are exactly the same. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So just use common sense. And how much fluid does it take? And you want to make sure it's straight, so you just align it just to how it is. It's not rocket science. Cool? All right, ladies.
Awesome.
I'll get out of here. Anything else, my friend? Okay, awesome. And are you gonna have like can you send me the attendance on this? Awesome. Thank you, Tom, so much, Tom. And this guy's great. He works in JPS. So he's a trauma guy, so he's
Yeah,
okay.
we've been following him around like
He knows
little
what
ducks.
he knows what he's doing.